Happy Father's Day. This is the theme for today, I suppose. It's I am your father. Today, I wanted to talk about uh, hope. As a father of two, I I hope I get to talk to my children, but that hasn't been the case in some time. Um, I'm Stephen. This is Living in Recovery Today, um, and I am a former addict and alka everything. The only program I shouldn't be in is Gamblers Anonymous. Um, I've been sober coming up on 10 years in like 2 months or something. I've been sober 10 years. So I've been around a couple of days, and my children have not decided to have a relationship with me. I have hope that they want to someday, but I no longer have a resentment against them. I no longer expect them to have a relationship with me and make demands of them. Um, the uh, the Saint Francis prayer is one of my favorite prayers, although I'm not a religious person, but that one does grab me. And there's a couple lines in there that say, um, seek to love rather than to be loved, and seek to understand rather than be understood. And it's that one that gets me, because at this point where I am, I have nothing but love for my children. And I also now seek to understand them and where they are with their emotions, where they are in individually with their journeys in life. They got the worst of it, hands down. They got the worst of it, and I take responsibility for that. Father's Day is not a day of sorrow. My father is at the end of the month. He is going to be at the end of July. He's going to be 91 years old. And I still have my father with me. And it's wonderful. You know, my father talks about his father who's been passed some time. And one of the favorite lines my father likes to share with me, although it's not a happy memory for me, I've turned it into a joyous thing. He had a falling out with my older half brother, his first son, from another marriage. Our family's confusing on a good day. And he said, sort of the last parting moments, he said, what I wouldn't do to have one more phone call with my father. And I live my life that way. I live my life with that as a guiding principle. So I call my dad every day and I speak to him most days. And I don't really say that line to him because it makes him cry, or well up. And while I love that because it's so heartfelt and wonderful, he doesn't like it very much. So I kind of keep it to myself, but it's running in the background in my head. Um, he cherishes his relationship with his sons, me and my younger brother. And he lets us know, and we both, my younger brother lives a couple miles away, so he sees my dad every day pretty much. But I love my father, and I love that he's still in my life, and I'm going to make that call every day. But I don't have that expectation pushed back at my own children. When I have talked in the past, and it even comes up on like Father's Days, about my children, people get angry at my kids, like they're not doing something right. And so many people, it was hid from their line of sight how I treated them. They got the absolute worst of me, yet I side with them. I prefer them not speak with me, but I understand they haven't been able to come to terms yet with who I was and who I am today. And that's up to them. Again, that's their journey. My journey in my life is to be a productive member of society and help other people and be present. Um, that's and be a loving and especially a kind person. And that's my duty, that's my calling, that's my responsibility today. And that brings me peace. And I can move through a day like Father's Day. And I have so many people with children, and I'm so happy for them. And I send out a ton of text messages and make a bunch of calls and tell people how happy I am to see them. Some people did not have problems with drugs and alcohol, and they have wonderful relationships with their families and especially their children. And I celebrate that, and I'm happy for them, and I express that to them. And other people had a rocky road but are back with their families, back with their children, and I celebrate that, and I have nothing but happiness for them. This used to be a really hard day for me, but that's sort of what I attach to it, is that resentment, that anger. How dare they not call me when something in my journey in recovery, but also, spirituality and certain philosophies that I model my life after. I have no anger at my children. I have let go of that. And I communicate with their mother, and through her, I want them to know that I'm here. They don't respond to letters, emails, text messages, phone calls. And I do those things because I want to let them know that I'm here when they're ready, on their terms. They had to grow up on my terms. And let me tell you, my terms were not pretty. They were not soft. They were not kind. They were not supportive. And I can't do anything about that, but I can do something about here now, keeping my head where my feet are and keeping my heart open at all times. Sometimes it's harder than other times, but when I'm in that place, life feels softer. Um, I'm able to move through life and be happy, or at least not depressed and down and stressed out. I have a wonderful support system, as I hope you do. Um, and if you're having issues in your families, I hope you can find peace, and I hope that your family can find a journey back to you. I haven't found it very successful when my journey is going back to them and pushing that on them. Um, Anyhow, I don't know that I have anything else to add other than for the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. And I hope you are having a peaceful and loving one. So, see you guys later.